That thing is beating your doggone chest.
Welcome to Smoking with the Birds. It's your boy D Gifted. As always, you know I'm pushing out that Eagles content. So new viewers, if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Join me on my journey to 100 subscribers, and you will all be entered in the raffle for a Brian Dawkins jersey. Hey, so let me jump right into it because we got something to actually be happy about. We actually got a win. I know it was the Detroit Lions, but a win is a win. Before the outcome of this game, the tone was completely different. The tone was completely different. Just on the strength, we was going up against a team that was 0-7. They was playing at home. They was looking like they was playing for a coach that was highly motivated, or at least had them highly motivated. They just lacked the talent. And we was looking at our team that was looking terrible. We was looking at a coach, Nick Sirianni, who could not adjust or show that he could adjust and stick with it. Then you had JG, who was so conservative to the point where you had guys like Fletcher Cox showing frustration, Darius Slay showing his signs of frustration, Jason Kelsey, his frustration being shown on the field. So we had a bunch of things going against us, and I was looking at it for real, like it could really get worse. It could really get worse. The tone going into this game wasn't a dominant win type of tone that it ended up coming out to be. And so, like I said, it was a great win. A win is a win. I'm gonna take it because, like I said, Muzz was talking about like the Lions was competing, you know what I'm saying, and they didn't compete not one bit. You know, they didn't look like they had any effort out there, and they was at home, you know. So, like I said, much needed win, especially for head coach Nick Sirianni, because it was getting to a point now. It was getting to a point where Muzz was starting to look at his seat, his coaching seat, and checking the temperature on that, seeing how hot it is, because the guys was completely looking like they wasn't in tune. They didn't believe in the system. They was frustrated. If they would have lost against the Detroit Lions, he could have completely lost the locker room. So that's why I say it was a much needed win for him in that regard. Don't want to see the head coach lose the team, especially how gimmicky Nick Sirianni is, as far as like his sayings and everything. You know, he real metaphoric, I say. But another guy, to be honest, is JG. This is a guy too. It was a great win for him, just on the strength that he was looking, to be honest, be fired. I was looking at my watch like, yo, if he lose to the Detroit Lions, he could possibly be gone. Because I know for sure if Jeffrey Lurie and Nick Sirianni having these meetings, I know they talking about JG. They gotta be. Especially when he was consistently giving up 40-plus points 2 weeks in a row, and then 30-plus points here. You know, so JG needed this win to look as convincing as it was. This is the type of performance that he actually needed to solidify, or not solidify, but you know, take the eyes off his seat just for another week, because next week gonna bring a whole different type of mindset. And so that's why going into the after this game, I'm looking at it from a standpoint of consistency with these coaches, because like I said, Nick Sirianni was super close to losing the locker room. JG was basically close to losing his job before this game. So like I said, some consistency. We have yet seen it. We have yet been able to go into a game even having the slightest idea of what is to come, because they all seem so stubborn. Period. So for Nick Sirianni to come into this game and do something completely different, that showed me, okay, he's at least trying different things. He's at least willing. He's not that dumb, because he know good and well if he would have came out and did the same exact thing, he was gonna get clowned. But he could have stayed like that. He actually came in and ran the ball. That was actually the difference in this game. Running the ball. That was something we've been asking for the whole season. It's week 8. It's week 8. But we executed. And you see what happened when we execute. 46 rush attempts. That's the most rushing attempts we had all season. 46. That's a lot. And four rushing touchdowns. We ran this was a complete running type of scheme that they drew up for this game. And it definitely paid off. It definitely paid off. And so for me, I'm hoping that Coach Nick Sirianni sees this and sees that he's playing to the strengths of the team. And on top of that, he's helping out Jalen Hurts. We had 236 rushing yards. 236, that's the most we had all season. And we are very capable. Very capable. I'm looking at it from a standpoint like, okay, Nick Sirianni, you see this. You see these guys loving to run the ball. You see how many yards. How can you go back into how can you go back and look at the film and go back to something that was not working? And so that's why it's key that we all see some type of consistency. Consistency is the key, because we can put up points. We got playmakers. We got Devontae Smith. We got Quez Watkins. We got all these guys. But can Nick Sirianni put these guys in position consistently? And going in this game, he ran the ball. 236 rushing yards for the team. And look, you see what happened. Four rushing touchdowns. We need to do that more often, all the time, and incorporate it. And Jalen Hurts still led the team in rushing, I believe, with 70 rushing yards. But Nick Sirianni called a beautiful game. Everybody pretty much had their hands in it. We had about 3 different running backs: Kenny, Boston, and Howard. They all showed up. Boston Scott led the way, though. Boston Scott led the way with the most yards between all the backs. He had 60 yards on 12 carries. And the crazy thing is, Miles Sanders usually have 12 carries by himself. Or matter of fact, not even by himself, because he don't even have it. He be having like 10, 9 when he barely get 10. In this game, all 3 running backs had at least 12 carries. Boston Scott had 12 carries for 60 yards. Jordan Howard had 12 carries for 57. And Kenny had 13 carries for 27 yards. So, with that being said, what if Miles Sanders was in this game? Why did it take so long for you to finally adjust? So, I don't know the answer to that question. I'm just hoping that he sees the film. He sees that, hey, this is working. No matter what the owner's talking about, this is what's getting us the W. Oh, shit. Oh. Yeah. This is what's getting us the W. So, with that being said, I love the game plan. I believe that Jalen Hurts. Damn. Okay. I believe Jalen Hurts does not have to throw the ball 40 plus times. He don't. And it's crazy to think that that's all they want to do. It's crazy to think that the coaches don't see that not only is the team running the ball helping out Jalen Hurts, but it's overall helping out the team. Jalen Hurts barely had 100 yards passing. He had 14 pass attempts for 103 yards. What that tell you? And we got 40 plus points. Off that. Can you believe it? I can't. If anybody would have told me before the game that we was gonna have 236 rushing yards and matter of fact 46 rushing attempts, I wouldn't believe you. I wouldn't believe you. So I'm hoping, like I said, that Nick Sirianni can find a way to stick with the game plan, and especially if he want to keep his job, because ultimately winning is the main thing. Cause to me, in my opinion, I believe Jalen Hurts already showed that he can line up under center. He already showed us last season under Doug Peterson. I'm gonna keep bringing it up in that Arizona game. He can do it. So don't tell me he can't. And with that being said, we need to see it consistently. Nick Sirianni, we need consistency. And defensively, they played great. Defensively, they played great. Matter of fact, we was getting pressure. We came into this game ranked 25th in pressure percentage, and we got 6 sacks. We was some dogs up there, especially Josh Sweat. So this guy Josh Sweat is definitely showing why he got paid. He is definitely two and one. Matter of fact, I don't think nobody had more than 2 sacks besides Hargrave until Sweat. So man, who else balled out? Man, Avonte Maddox, he balled out. Everybody balled out. But my biggest thing with this game, as far as JG, it's the game pretty much bailed him out. The type of game that it was, it bailed him out just on the strength that the Detroit Lions had to pass. Now let them got a comfortable lead, and they had was able to run the ball or to attack us. Then that's when I wanted to see, how the defense held up. Now for the most part, he was mixing it up. 1 safety here, 2 safety here, manning up on the guys. So JG, he's not stupid. I know he's not. I listened to his press conference, so I know he know. It just always never made sense why he not doing it on the field. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, this was a game that JG needed to save his job, and it was definitely a game that Nick Sirianni needed for the team to still believe in him and fight for him, because everybody was showing signs of frustration, So, like I said, consistency is the key. And overall, the wide receivers didn't have a big day because this was a game that was more so predicated upon the run. So, with that being said, all the running backs did a great job. Everybody had, like I said, at least 12 carries, and they all put in that work. Boston Scott led the way. So, hopefully this continue. Hopefully these guys can learn something, and it starts next week. The consistency starts next week. The coaches are being evaluated just as well as the players, just as well, because they are the ones that's, for the most part this season, been putting these guys in bad position. So, they forced our hand. With that being said, man, it's your boy D Gifted. Make sure new viewers, y'all hit that subscribe button and join me on my journey to 100 subscribers and be entered in the raffle for a Brian Dawkins jersey. Peace and love.